But it's definitely
Squirrel!
it's definitely hurting Amp not having the full lineup. Nazumi is in. They've got their all-star support and they're also top laner back in here. This is going to make a pretty big difference, I feel. But still, with the way that TPR just played the map, especially through the jungle and the mid lane and bot lane, we'll have to see how much Nazumi can bring back to this roster.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can still do what they did against Amp, even regardless of their sub, or if Mizumi will still be able to turn it around and hopefully bring them back.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you stick with the Twitch ban. I think you need to get rid of Aurelia. Try and put 15 on something else because Aurelia has been one of the most dominant picks in the current meta, let alone for TPR with 15.
Yeah, 15 obviously being somebody who's, I guess, been kind of known to one trick. Not really a one trick, but definitely his most played champion out of all the champions that are being played mid lane.
Yeah, he likes those really aggressive picks. It was really interesting seeing and hearing about the top three mid laners in the league. It was Business Trooper 15 and then Just Know because Just Know came in, 15 was on a hot streak and Just Know took 15, smashing up against the ground and started cleaning up his tile flooring with him. Right? It was like, oh my god, Just Know's a god, right? And then Business Trooper played against Just Know and smashed him, and then I hear Tail that in scrims 15 just takes Business Trooper to the park and says, "Look, boy, you're not going to have any fun here. This is my park," right? And so it's like there's this trifecta of mid laners that got top three, right? They are all within like 3 or 4 points of each other, and it's just you get to see these plays. It's so interesting to see. Acarcion, again, fairly new to the league. He's in for a tall task up against 15 because he's a very very strong mid laner. And we'll just have to see if he can find something for himself. Maybe grab himself the Azir. That is one of Acarcion's more comfortable picks.
Yeah, and while it is a zero, I mean, at the same time, it's like, do you still pick it versus 15? Because I feel like all of his picks that he does play still kind of shit on Azir. Like, Azir is not known anymore to really be that kind of lane dominant person that he used to be. He's more of just like, if you can tolerate him or not, and if you can tolerate him, and then you get that one gank, he's so bad at trying to come back into the game, he just falls off super hard. But
Yep.
there comes the Aurelia ban instantly, first pick.
Yeah, and sticking with the
Obviously,
Jax
a change
ban,
up.
that is one of Prism's more comfortable picks. He does love him some Jax, and most teams ban against him. I'm starting to feel like maybe it's a pick that you should just start letting go. Because while it is his favorite pick, I think there's a lot better things in the meta that Prism is willing to play as well. And it just
Yeah,
feels like you might as well just let Prism play what he wants and try and whittle down the champ pools of the rest of the team.
yeah, because especially even if you're banning out the Jax, like right now, honestly, I don't even think he cares about not playing Jax anymore. I mean,
Right.
if they're not going to ban Sejuani or take the Sejuani, it's like they're just going to keep playing Sejuani
Right.
regardless of if they ban Jax.
He can keep playing Sedge. He's got the Gragas in his pocket. I think he's got Warwick as well. He's got a lot of stuff for him. But it does look like Amp are first picking that Braum for themselves. It's a little interesting. They might have been afraid that Samuel was going to grab that, but I see no reason for TPR not to just go back and try and grab a pretty similar bot lane to what they just did. Get that Alistar, maybe get that Kai'Sa as well. It's actually one of the most powerful bot lane duos because of the way that Kai'Sa's passive works with CC.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm actually surprised that they didn't just go for the Rakan since Nizumi is back. I mean, it wasn't Rakan really that was the problem. Honestly, I just think that Starstore just does not play like Nizumi does. So, I mean, not grabbing his top support champion, you think they would just go with that, but now they're going to get the Alistair Kai'Sa,
Yeah.
and that bot lane is going to be scary.
Right, or even possibly take the Alistar for themselves. That is one of Nizumi's other really strong picks. Back when Shijiro was the AD carry for Amp, that was their go-to bot lane, was Tristana Alistar. And it was a very powerful thing. And I think with Alistar being considered the best support in the game right now, it's something you might want to go to. Bliss going to take the Sejuani from Prism, though, and that should help them kind of get a better track on this pick ban.
Hmm. Yeah, and hopefully him getting the Sejuani too, he plays much better, because while Trundle isn't in sense a terrible champion, right now he's definitely not what he used to be, and Sejuani is definitely just one of Bliss's better champions. I don't really think we've seen him play Trundle too much, and obviously it was clearly shown it was not more of one of his comfort picks.
Yep, the Urgot again for Spoder did well enough, but definitely could not carry his team on it. LeBlanc picked up for 15. This was the first pick that he ever really showed his extreme prowess on and made people fear him for was the LeBlanc. Coming out with that Aurelia, though, you have to start choosing, right, what do I ban against this just all-star mid laner? And one of his main picks makes it through.
Yeah. If you don't ban all of them, he still can pick at least one of them in the first phase.
Yep, Zaya going to be taken away from Gummy. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Tristana ban coming up next. He does love him some Tristana. It's going to be the Lucian, though. They don't want them to get that really hyper-powerful combo down there. And we've been seeing how strong Lucian is at Worlds recently. Sneaky just had a hell of a 3 games on it. And, yeah, it's definitely a ban worth throwing. Nocturne taken away from Prism. Again, one of his other favorite picks. He's been doing it pretty well lately. And he's just going to default over to that Warwick. We're going to have to deal with the blood trails, but I think we'll be able to put up with it. And Gummy looking at that Tristana. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Sivir from Gummy. I don't know if he plays it, but I feel like Sivir is a very strong character right now. Lots of neutralization down in the bot side. So much farming potential. The wave clear is crazy. It looks like he might actually head to that. Yeah, he is going to lock in the Sivir.
Yeah, and that'll also help him too against the amount of CC that are on the side of TPR again. I mean, you have the suppress, you have the LeBlanc chains when they do proc.
The Alistar.
The Alistar stun and knock up, and I guess headbutt too if you count that as CC. But
it can be used for CC. It's not just a mobility spell.
Yeah, the only reason I say if you can is just because obviously using it for CC is much harder than using it for the combo. So.
Normally, it's like you headbutt them into a wall, and then they're like, then you catch up, and then you finish them off.
But... Or if by chance that you do get a flank off, then you headbutt them into the team.
Yeah. Samuel hovering that Victor again. He has no intention of grabbing it, I'm sure. It's just going to be the Renekton again into the Urgot. Had a pretty good time.
I really hope our league does it. I want to see it so bad because I told Yuki the first time I saw it, I was like, please give me, I want it. Even though it didn't win versus C9, it still was a very cool pick, and I used to play Victor a lot because I love that champion.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting build. I like it a lot. I haven't played it, but I like seeing it at least.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I think Afrika just executed on it poorly because, like we were saying before, like they picked Victor to smash the Aatrox, but then they didn't account for any of like other lanes that would have engaged, and they just decided to go like basically solo lanes. So there was nothing to really follow up with the Victor and what he was doing.
Right. All right. So what are you thinking so far, looking at all this for over-under? Or our bet if we decided not to do an over-under?
First tower. Or do we go first 3 towers?
We could do, how long will it take Warwick to get a blood trail stuck on everybody in Spectator? No, not going to do that.
We could do that.
No, I have no clue what time frame to judge that by. All right. Let's do, which team gets first tower?
Oh my god, dude! I actually hope like C9 win.
Could be pretty high.
The only reason I'm hoping they win is because DOV brought this up when I was watching it with them. They were like, "Dude, if they actually win, Body by Jensen might be a thing." I don't know if you actually remember that meme.
Oh, I remember that meme. I remember that meme well. Yeah, I mean, I'll love when we get, if that happens, we'd get probably C9 Lee Sin, C9 Nocturne, or Kindred. We'd get a Zillion skin.
Dude, NA would be spazzing over the C9 skins and be like, oh, C9, oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be happy if anybody wins, but Invictus. I think Invictus is a cool team, but
Yeah,
I don't I don't want East to win again, right? It's like no, this is the West year.
yeah.
All right. Ugh. So I've started drinking Monsters before casting, and I think it helps a lot. I'm not usually big on the energy drinks, but I was like, man, I'm always just tired. I'm gonna start drinking Monsters.
Yeah, monsters aren't too bad. I kind of fell out of monsters just because they're a little bit stronger, and at least in terms of like feel, like when you drink them, like they
Right.
feel like more acidic, whereas Rockstar isn't.
Mm.
But still gives you the same thing. Plus, I think Rockstar has way more flavors and does a much better job in their
Uh,
what is it? I guess
Masking the
advertising.
yeah.
Also, generating new stuff. I mean, they literally have a new flavor like every either at least every season or at least once every 6 months. There's a new flavor.
Right.
The most recent one being the ones to compete with the new drink called Blast. If you're familiar with that, they now
No.
have Rockstar X-Durance,
Mm.
which is basically the Blast, except Rockstar.
Nice.
Here's
All
blue.
right.
It's not called blueberry cotton candy. It tastes like blueberry cotton candy. So it's blueberry candy, and then there's like I guess a more strong fruit punch out of the other two fruit punches they already have. Which I don't know. I guess fruit punch is a big flavor for Rockstar because they have the zero fruit punch and then they have the normal fruit punch and now they have this external fruit punch. It's like and people like fruit punch, but it doesn't matter how many times you say it's different, it's still gonna taste the same. Ooh, Spitter good with the high nooner guy this game. Called Amp? Yeah, there is a drink called Amp. It sucks because they don't have any other flavors except Snyder, and then the other flavors they do have is eh.
It's all right.
They they used to have a lot of flavors, but like I don't know like what happened to it, but it like actually just like Rockstar just gave up on it and like stopped carrying because I guess that is also a Pepsi product. Is Amp, and then they started pushing Rockstar way more, and they also have like some new organic energy drink. I think it's just actually called organic. I don't know like what the actual name is,
Jeebus.
but they have like
All
an
right.
organic drink too.
Quick look at rune choices. Everything seems to be standard again.
Dude, I
No
love
weird
my energy
choices.
drinks. Dude, I work at a gas station. I lived off energy drinks for like the longest time when I started opening, because I'm up at like 3 in the morning every day.
I just had a weird moment where I tried to click on the shop guy to start buying items.
Uh,
I'm like, wait, I'm not playing.
yeah, I'm not playing. I'm a spectator.
Right, I got a cast. I can't play. Looks like Amp, though, going for a pretty aggressive level 1 onto this bot side. Gonna try and catch TPR in this 5 point.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna try to go for either late invade or maybe just see who's over here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult for them. I think if they actually want to catch out anything, they're gonna have to burn a flash for it. They are gonna get spotted by Awu here pretty quick, so they're gonna start moving
He's
into this jungle
pathing pretty
area.
close.
Yeah, it's gonna take a flash from Nazuma if they want to find anything here. They're not gonna be able to catch up otherwise, but he is trying to get the cutoff around while they get some wards in. So
Yeah, and they obviously realize that the rest of TPR is there, so
yeah,
nothing gonna happen.
yep, Spoder.
Looks like they're just gonna back out.
Spoder's gonna walk through that jungle, try and see if anyone snuck their way in. Sonic did manage to find a ward into the blue pit. This is gonna help them track, whereas they did not get any super advanced vision besides the one on the blue there. I did not see them place that one in the pit. So both
Yeah.
junglers will know where each other isn't. And if anybody has ever seen the video on how ballistic missiles track themselves, they know where they are because they know where they aren't. So both these junglers, pretty much high-speed missiles right now.
I have not seen that.
You have not seen that video? I'm gonna have to find it on YouTube.
Ah,
It talks. It's a legitimate breakdown of how like ballistic missile tracking like works or used to work.
yeah. You know what I was always interested in are the bunker buster missiles. Those things used to be so cool. Like you'd see the one missile just like drop straight into the bunker and then just and the whole thing was gone.
Yeah. Well,
I love military stuff, dude. Military stuff is awesome.
Yeah. All right. There's a link to that if you want to listen to that. I also posted in the Twitch chat, so in case the joke went over anybody's head, they can find it now. Awu is gonna get tagged up here. I've got a little bit of advantage CCS.
Obviously, it went over my head if it's actually a joke because I've never seen it. Yeah.
It's a pretty old thing. So
I've never seen that one, so unfortunate. Hey Ham,
what's up?
I'd tell you a joke about hoodies, but it'd go over your head.
15 tracking Bliss once again. They have been putting these wards on their own Raptors. That way they can see Bliss, because Bliss actually, while he is a very aggressive jungler, does follow some pretty similar routes every single game. And so TPR seem to have done their research, and they're going to be tracking him fairly heavily this game as well as last game.
Yeah, they seem to really just know like where he does go. And,
yeah, ooh, Samuel with a little bit of a mess up, but he's still going to flash in. Gummy Bull's there waiting out the spell shield. He's still going to get hit by the fear. He does have flash if he needs it. He's running away. Now Nezumi, he's going to be on the run, but does manage to get out without having to burn any spells. Just Gummy losing a couple there.
Yeah, and still coming out with quite a healthy amount of HP, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sonic finds his way onto Bliss, forces the flash, and again, TPR just tracking him so well.
I'm pretty sure he did steal that too.
No,
I don't think he
Bliss got it. Yeah, Bliss did get it. Yeah. Yeah, the 70 gold pop-up was on top of Bliss.
I didn't see if he smited it or not. That would have been very sad if he didn't get that.
Yep. Yeah, and it's fairly unseen. Teams tracking Bliss this well. Nezumi's still going to get hit by the headbutt pulverize. The trample not going to be able to hit him. And I don't think the fear is going to do too much either, but just a little bit of damage coming down onto him as that plasma is stacking up pretty quick. He's getting really low. It's a little bit of a shame they didn't have Ignite because they tried using it onto Gummy earlier. But Bliss is about to get freaking executed. Forced to burn the smite a little bit early. That would have been a sight.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very sad moment because that would have definitely entailed how this game is going to go.
Yeah, well, C9 officially picked up blue buff after yesterday, and TPR might want to pick up Gromp. He's doing a little bit of work for him. It's just this team play as in general from TPR. The way that they're playing around the jungle, fairly unprecedented actually. Not even something we saw them do in the regular split.
Yeah, they're definitely bringing out stuff that they clearly did not do in the regular season.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Waterwork passive.
Woohoo! It's already happening. Trying to...
I noticed it like when it switched cameras. Oh, it's on Bram, yeah.
Yeah. Trying not to harp out too much. It was the highlight of last week. Saw it again yesterday, so
actually, like the whole highlight of the last 2 weeks. This is what it's been.
Yeah.
Because then it comes like
Spoder is in a lot of trouble. He's getting good damage off, but he doesn't have the Ignite or his ultimate. And with 15 coming up here, he's going to burn the flash. The distortion doesn't land, but the flash in with the change. I think this is going to be a dead Urgot. Prism's just here for an assist, but he's not even going to get it. First blood over to the LeBlanc. This is already a scary time for Amp.
They're trying to force their way down Amp's throat right now. I mean, both times there has just been 3-man ganks in each lane that they've gone to, and Amp just is not able to deal with it right now. And TPR are even like walking up to possibly contest this, but it looks like they're just gonna walk away.
Yeah.
Go back to their lane.
And another really sad point. It is great to see Nezumi back in, and he has actually been playing a lot better than Starstro was. But Gummy is still down like 15 CS right now. Even with, having this, better support player on deck. and it's going to be very hard for Amp to start playing through this side, especially because of how much pressure Prism has been putting down there. But they're going to have to because of the Infernal, Jake, right? You can't give over the Infernal again in this game. It was a triple last game. Who knows what it could be this time?
Yeah. Because what is it? Okay, so it is Infernal the first dragon. Yeah, because you'll never know like what the next dragon will be.
Yeah, Sivert did just catch all the way back up in CS right there. That's actually like kind of amazing. He was down almost 20 in CS, and then he had a huge wave that he was actually freezing. They tried to shove it in. So he is actually caught back up in CS now.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow pushing back and forth just because Sivert being the natural pusher that she is, and then TPR having the advantage that they do. They've both been kind of like slow pushing the lanes back and forth, so it's just a matter of like who's actually there for when the lane crashes.
Right.
But looks like going standard LeBlanc. 15's been hovering a lot around bot and mid, finding the pink that's behind the red buff. It's just going to clear that out. Looks like he really does want to try to do something bot. So obviously they are trying to get their bot lane ahead again still.
Yeah, I mean, Kai'Sa's one of the best, if not the best, late game AD carries, and she's still pretty good in the early to mid game too. So it's no surprise that if you just put a little bit of love down there, she is gonna pop off pretty early. And he is going for an early game build style too. Now that they've got magic damage in the jungle and mid lane, he's gonna go for that Storm Razor, which does pop off faster than the AP Kai'Sa. While it doesn't have as good of a late game, it is still a very valuable build to go. And I think this time it's a pretty good one. 15 looking for an all-in onto a Karsion. Lots of damage coming down. He doesn't have the Ignite, though, so he's going to jump out of there. No ultimate from a Karsion.
Yeah, I think he was looking to use it, but because he jumped back both spots right away, he wasn't able to pop it off before he disappeared out of range.
Right.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets the first death in the mid lane. Especially with 15 having that item advantage.
Yeah.
Syndra's still being very good at playing against the LeBlanc, though.
Yeah, Syndra is a pretty decent pick. I do believe in the game I was referencing earlier, where Just Know had that just pop-off game versus 15, I'm pretty sure it was a Syndra versus LeBlanc matchup, and it really made 15 kind of second-guess his LeBlanc, it seemed, especially into this matchup up against a Karsion, who, while not Just Know, still seems fairly confident in this play.
Yeah, because I think it is actually considered a counter pick, because if LeBlanc jumps in and you're able to get your EQ combo off, and you like stun LeBlanc before she gets her combo, and then full combo her, you take these small trades, you hit 6, and as long as you have the amount of balls that you need to execute her, you just immediately press R, and just destroy the LeBlanc for even trying to trade with you.
Yeah.
So I think that goes on until LeBlanc gets an item that pretty much will one-shot the Syndra.
Yeah, and one thing you can do is Scatter Weak will actually knock her out of the distortion. And if you push her straight back into it and you have a ball prepped, you can actually push her straight into the ball where she actually dashed from and get a pretty quick stun combo off.
Sorry, keep going.
That was pretty much the end. Yeah, Sonic actually find himself a pretty good spot versus Boater. Can't go for an all-in because of that Ignite. That is one of the scariest things about the Urgot build, as he does have that spellbook. So lots of lane pressure because he can always swap to that kind of combat spell rather than just having the teleport.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take a glance.
Or even having that combat spell, it's like he still hasn't been able to kill him just because he either pops ult to gain that HP back, or he just never seems to get low enough for him to get that kill before Prism shows up.
Yeah, Bliss, though, is going to come and find himself his way onto Prism. Looks like they might just be trying to bait it in, as Spoder One has found his way in, but oh my god, that Warwick Bolt is doing so much damage. Here comes Samuel, too. He roamed up from the bot side. Fear Beyond Death is going to find the first kill onto Prism. Bliss is still alive. The Triumph Rock keeping him there. They are just going to trade junglers for the time being. As Sonic, you should probably cancel that, buddy. You're not going to find anything with that TP. So he just lost a lot of cooldown on that teleport, but still, trade of kills there. Not sure who that really favors. I think it probably favors TPR because that kill did go onto the LeBlanc, whereas I think that's going to be more valuable there than maybe onto an Urgot.
Yeah, I think it did favor TPR more because not only did the kill go to 15, but on top of that, they did still get at least one assist over to OG Prism. So more gold for sure.
Yeah, and oh my
As
god, Nazumi's
Braum
getting
here
just
is
chunked out. Samuel with a really good engage, and Awu going just full aggro, recognizing that there's no mana on the Sivir. Wants to just press this advantage as much as he can right now.
yeah, they clearly just have like the overall advantage right now. There's just nothing that Nazumi and Gummy are gonna be able to do. And I think at this point too, it's gonna be like, can Gummy actually scale? Because right now, like, while he's only a longsword behind Kaisa.
Yeah, oh man, it's looking like a repeat of earlier Prism. He's going to get rooted up. Fear Beyond Death not off cooldown, but the flare is going to land, and he's just going to get ran down and killed by Spoder yet again. Sonic Abs trying to get a flank off with how low 15 is. I don't think he can manage to get this. Oh, he's got a little bit of a fast crab running at him. Nice flash away from that Q. Should give a lot of power over to Amp right now. As now Naughty's in a little bit of trouble. Sorry, Acarcion. He's going to fall down.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate that he ended up walking right back into 15 there, but it does seem like they actually are not even going to be able to know that Bliss is doing this Rift Herald here too, so they will at least still get a kill and a Rift Herald eventually if he is able to finish this.
Yeah, oh man, Izumi stepping up. He's going to get hit by the combo from Sam with a headbutt into the wall. He's taking a lot of damage, but the Unbreakable is up. Now they're able to see if they can start turning stuff back around, but I think Awu and Samuel still just a little bit too strong in this 2v2.
Yeah, I think at this point, like I was saying before, it'll be if can Gummy actually scale, because while he does kind of scale into the late game, his spike really I don't think is as strong as Kai'San. I don't think it matters even if he has the same amount of items. I think Kaisa is just always going to be stronger just because of her passive. And like because of how fast she can stack her stacks and then jump around in team
Samuel's
fights.
going really aggressive.
Yeah.
The Killer Instinct's in the walls in the wrong direction, but I think Samuel still might fall down here as Gummy. He is going to live along. How is he still alive? The stun lands onto Awu, and this is just going disastrously for TPR as they're desperately trying to find the kill. But Azumi with the stuns, it's going to give a double kill over to Bliss. Sputteron with the TP down. They can start pressuring down this tower. They've got the Rift Herald.
I don't think he was moving his camera, and he like kept misclicking the tower, and he actually just could not click on Gummy as he was walking around. He autoed the tower 3 times in that fight, trying to get the last auto off.
Yeah, it's
and unfortunately just not being able to get the kill. And now Amp got 2 kills for that, and now they're gonna get this tower too.
Yeah, it looks like they might not get the towers. 15 is gonna try and execute that Rift Herald. It is getting pretty low. Bliss sticking around. They do find that on the top side, Sonic getting as much damage off onto this as he can. But yeah, I mean, it's the classic hide around the tower so that they can't get you, right? Hide the Caitlyn trap behind the tower so that they can't see it. Towers can be very freaking annoying to deal with because they are such a large object. And that's why it's almost imperative as an AD carry, anybody that needs to right-click or use something that can target a tower or minions, you need to have some kind of target champion only button or hotkey. That way in situations like that, there's no mistake. You can attack the tower because you have an ability on that only lets you target champions. And that would have made the difference there if Awu had that bound at all.
Yeah, or even like if he was maybe trying to A-click and just move his camera slightly back
right
to where you could see it. Because it's not like Sivir's champion is like that small. Like,
right.
She doesn't get entirely blocked off, but it looks like there might actually
it's going to be hard for him to find that kill because Braum with that wall is very hard. Nice stun landing onto 15 though. Still going to be able to restore out of here. He didn't use that yet.
Oh my god.
Gummy and Izumi need to be careful. Here comes Samuel. He's going to be able to land the headbutt. It breaks the spell shield for the Pulverize to land, and Izumi doesn't get the Unbreakable up soon enough. It's very frustrating for Sivir playing into an All-Star because the headbutt breaks the spell shield, and then the Pulverize still lands.
Amp did get first tower, by the way, for the over-under.
That is correct.
So
15% of all points were on that. Not nearly enough. Whoever voted on that just got a decent chunk of gold. As Spoder is going to be trying to run away from Prism. The Fear not going to... Oh, sorry. The ult doesn't land, but the Fear does. And a nice flash in for 15 with that Distortion going to find the kill. Now it looks like Prism on the run. Will the Unleashed Power kill him? It looks like it will. Acarcion finds his first kill of the game.
That's one of those moments where I screwed up, but it worked out anyways.
Right. Well, and that is the nice thing. Once you're charging that fear, if you put the ult behind them, it's a no, it's a win-win
Samuel, what are
situation.
you
Yeah, Samuel's in
doing?
a really rough spot, and Awu's trying to make up for his
Wait,
sins. Looks like they might be able to turn around onto a Karsion, but the unbreakable from Nazumi. Again, it's doing so much work. He's
oh,
playing this Braum really well. It's the Frozen Prison not going to land onto Awu, who manages to get out there with the Killer Instinct. Sonic trying to save his life, and again, TPR just trying to play
TPR just need to
savior game
run.
right now, as Sonic now trying to find his way onto a Karsion, and it looks like he's not going to be able to find it running away from this blue buff Syndra. She's got spells on deck. She's got the mana for it. She's going to find herself a second kill of the game. Now 15 again. Why do you keep playing this game, TPR? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, like several times they just kept trying to salvage something that didn't need to be salvaged. They could have just reset, let them get away, and then just go for it later if they decided to overstay. But they just kept walking in one at a time to try to give their chance at trying to catch this really low Syndra. That's not gonna die.
Yep,
Because
Bliss
Bliss is right
is
there.
going to land a lot of spells, but
Oh my
not quite a kill
gosh.
onto 15 yet. He's forced to get out of there. Looks like he's going to stick around just a little bit. But Amp have definitely found the control that they need. Catching TPR, just not respecting them, not respecting the map movements.
Yeah, now it looks like Amp should get the tower advantage if Urgot is able to get the top tower. They'll be up 2 towers to 1, and they are going to go for this Dragon too, so it'll be a Mountain versus Infernal, while Mountain's not as good, still good, giving them the extra oomph to kill towers and objectives.
Yeah, and their team not particularly great at sieging. They're very good at countering siege because of the amount of wave clear that they have with the Sivir. But it is going to at least help them when they find their way onto a tower, start getting things just that much faster for themselves.
Yeah. And while their comp might not be that good at sieging, it's only not good at sieging like early. Like I think if they get a lead, or if they somehow are able to like get to that point like where they do have items, Sivir can actually siege pretty well with just the insane amount of wave clear that she puts out with their boomerangs, and then also like just the zone control that they have with the team comp they
She,
have. And
yeah, she
no,
does good damage. 15 with a nice double
what?
distortion is able to get out of there. Not locked down long enough. They should be losing mid lane, but they are going to find bot lane for themselves. And yeah, well, Sivir can definitely do good damage. The trouble is just how short range the entire comp is, right? They've got 3 melees. Sivir is one of the lowest range AD carries in the game. Syndra, not exactly known for his sieging, able to set things up with the stun, how long range that is, but in terms of how well you can attack the towers, not quite there for Amp in a big 5 versus 5 setting.
Yeah. And then especially with the comp that TPR have, Sivir being a low range AD carry does not really help having 2 champions on the side of Amp, or sorry, TPR, that can just kind of pounce on her for trying to get an auto attack off. Through Renekton and Alistair, and then even LeBlanc. And I guess Warwick if nobody's in front of him.
Right. Yeah, despite how much work he has been getting on, ooh, a little bit of a fight coming out. Seeing if they can find Bliss. He's taking up a lot of damage, but a huge 3-man stun from the Syndra. They already found the kill onto the Sejuani, though. They just need to keep Prism alive, set the Sphere Beyond Death. Doesn't get the Fear. He flashes in. He fears 2 people. Now they're trying to run away, but Sonic looks like he wants to go back in, actually find himself onto the server. The huge knocker from Samuel. They're starting to clean this fight up, but they can't go any farther because of the turret.
They're like all so low, but at the same time not low enough for anybody to really pull the trigger. And
Yeah.
everybody just has so much burst, and he's
And
still
they trade kill over. They're not playing around the vision properly, but still manages to find the kill. Now Spoder trying to find his way onto Awu. The supercharge might be enough to get it out of here. No, he's just running in a weird direction, but Stoder gonna get engaged on by Sonic. Lots of damage coming out from him. He might be able to find the kill, but the concussive blows are stacking up. Now Nazumi with no mana, forced to try and run away, but I don't think Sonic has the slash and dash. And they are going to be able to get out of there. I think that ended up being a 3 for 3.
Yeah.
So no one super favored there. Still just dead even on gold, basically. Only 300 gold separating these 2 teams.
Yeah, unfortunately not having a low enough CDR yet. With only the Black Cleaver completed, slash and dash still pretty high cooldown, even at max rank, while he's probably maxing at either second or last. I generally max at second just because I really don't care about stun. Normally I go Q and the slash and dash. But if he is maxing at last, it is still, I believe, a 9-second cooldown. So, and him only having 10% CDR, fairly long. Yeah, last game they ended up losing. For those of you that are just joining us, Amp did lose to TPR because they forgot that 15 plays Aurelia.
Yeah.
And it did not go well. I mean, to be fair, they did also have a sub bot lane. Well, sorry, sub support.
Gummy's a sub as well. They still have a
Is
sub bot lane,
is,
but
is Gummy a sub?
he
I mean, he's
is. Their main AD carry is Vey.
oh, is it they? I guess it's been so long since I've seen they play.
I
I
think
like
the
don't
last
watch
set that they
the.
played.
Well, I think I wasn't there for the last set they played.
I don't know. I
I
don't
think that week I was gone.
track all the games that you play, but we're going to see Spoder trying to get in here with that Righteous Glory. Getting onto LeBlanc going to be pretty good, but he's just going to dash back. A nice stun from the Syndra, going to find their way onto Samuel, but the Unbreakable Will for him is going to be coming in pretty big. He's still able to dash out of here, but the Unbreakable from Braum stops any return damage as now the Fear Beyond Death finds their way onto Kai'Sa. He's going to fall down next to Amp are just running on top of TPR and finding the kills that they need. They're not able to get anything off as now Prism. He's going to fall down to the Unleashed Power, and that is 3 kills for 1 for Amp. They could potentially look at a Baron right now, but maybe going to try and break open mid instead.
Yeah, that Braum wall, wow.
Play from 15. He's still in a little bit of danger. Able to get out, though. He's going to get hit up by quite a bit, but trying to even up this a little bit, make it worth it for him. Just a little bit more.
Yeah, that Braum wall just really just being ridiculous in terms of how much damage it blocks. Like when they caught out OG Prism there with that ult, Kai'Sa tried to get any damage off to try to at least turn it around or possibly even like re-engage once the rest of the team shut up, and he just blocked all of it. Yeah. So Kai'Sa really getting stopped by this Braum. As long as Braum is there, she just does not be able to seem to get any damage off.
Yeah, Nezumi playing this Braum pretty darn immaculately. This is why he is the best support in this league. His positioning's phenomenal. He's always able to save his team. The walls from him are doing so much work, right? 15, having a hard time getting his way in. Awu can't get any damage off because there's just this Braum in front of him. And it actually looks like he might be going... I'm not sure what he's building, but oh my god, that is... Perks? Perks, is that you? Who let Perks into this league?
Who's Perks?
I hope you're joking. But TPR are going to be finding their way onto the Baron. They didn't sweep this. They've got control wards, and they are just not placing them. But Bliss is just going to find himself on top of the LeBlanc. She's still in a little bit of a bad spot. Forced to use her dash to get out, but a huge knockup from the Braum. They just can't get anything done back onto Amp. They're getting so low. 15, though, manages to do a little bit with that distortion. They're actually starting to chase forward. Awu, he's still full health, but he's not able to finish anybody off. They get just a one for one. Both junglers dead. And now Amp with the mid lane priority. They're going to be trying to run this down. They've got the health bars to boot.
Yeah, somehow they just do not have any way of getting on the Sivir. And they did so well at just keeping TPR at the same spot that they were the entire time they started that engage. And they just were not able to get on the Sivir. And Sivir was just getting boomerang after boomerang. Finally, they were able to pick up a kill on the Sejuani with 15. But it's like...
Yeah, and TPR... not playing the vision game at all right now. They are just walking on top of wards. They're not clearing anything out. Samuel looks like he might have DC'd here. It's a little bit of a shame. He's going to fall down, but I don't know what on earth TPR are doing in terms of vision. They sat on they had 2 control wards in their pocket, and they started the Baron without even placing a single one of them to see that ward there. And they did set up a little bit of a bait, but you still need to start using these wards better and start placing them down and just stop walking through everything without sweeping. You've got sweepers. You need to play this game like you really want to win it, and without playing the vision game, you're just going to straight up lose.
Yeah. 15, just doing 15 things.
Yeah. He's trying to steal that dragon. It is a second mountain over to Amp. Next up is going to be an Infernal. Just all the aggro dragons right now are coming up, but yeah, it's looking pretty rough. Amp do have a decent gold lead for themselves. They are looking pretty strong in this. I'm really wishing that Renekton had built a Sterix gauge instead of this GA, because GA will be nice if he dies in a fight, sure. But the biggest problem he's have is just getting hit by so much crowd control that he can't actually get anywhere in the fight. And if he had that Sterix, when Sterix pops, it gives you a huge chunk of tenacity, which means you get the shield, you get the tenacity, now you get to run over the enemy team, find your way onto that Sivir, and try and blow open the fight. But instead, he's just going to run in, die, respawn, and die again.
Yeah. Or if not, die again, basically relying on the fact that hopefully TPR survives, so, which
Right.
doesn't really seem to be the case, as the last couple times Awu has pretty much gotten caught by
Yeah.
some kind of CC or the Syndra ult, just being Syndra.
Yeah, playing very aggressive. Nezumi is maybe finding himself being a little bit too aggressive himself, but a nice ultimate lands from him, and the stun from the Syndra. Going to be able to find the kill. The shutdown gold onto the LeBlanc. That is going to be a pretty good signal for them to maybe look towards this Baron. But they're not even messing around with that. Looking like they just want to get mid priority and maybe start taking down some more towers.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to go for this mid tier 2, which is interesting that they still don't go for Baron here, but I guess they must just fear the level advantage that Prism has over Bliss.
Yeah.
Unless they just think that they can get contested still. God, those auto attack noises by Sivir.
It's like Link. Back in Ocarina of Time when you just roll everywhere to go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Kai's build right now. He built pretty well last game. He's going for what appears to be a full crit build. Typically, you see people go for the Storm Rager, then maybe finish up a Gwinsu's, and then go back onto the crit trail. Because the Gwinsu's, even if you're going for the crit side, is still a very strong item on here, just because you really need to stack up all that plasma that much faster. And plasma does on hit, so...
Yeah, and it still does give you a lot of good mixed damage, too, regardless of if you're not going AP.
And he could still go for that. I do believe Gwinsu's builds out of Pickaxe, but Pickaxe could also be building into the Infinity Edge form, so it's hard to say what he's actually going to end up doing, but I'm kind of wishing it would be a Gwinsu's. And I hope it's not the Infinity Edge quite yet. The IE might be nice, because he is having a hard time getting through Nezumi, and the true damage from IE would actually help him get there, but we are going to see a little bit of fight come up as Amp has found them into their own jungle. Prism force uses ult pretty early, and it's pretty good, but Sivir's low. She's already down now. Awu with full health. How much can he get done? Needs to kite back, not get caught out by these tanky members. The Fear Beyond Death lands onto the full health member. Now they can't finish anything off, but Awu, he's trying to run with that supercharge. They're going to get this one kill and see how far they can take it, as now 15 as well is trying to find himself a flank. Just keep the enemy team off of your team while they do the Baron. Is he able to find his way onto Nezumi? Just needs to get the double distortion, but he's going to walk back, just baiting them into burning spells. And now Amp, they want to try and stop this Baron. They do have decent health bars to try and get it done. The Baron has done half the job for him, but Samuel with the flash in, he gets the pulverize on to Spoderwan, but it didn't help anything. Syndra finds the kill onto Warwick. Now Spoder finally goes down. How much more can it get done? It's just a 1-for-1. Still a little bit of advantage for Amp, actually, as they still have their jungler. Sam back in on a ward. 15, again, hunting for stuff, but still in vision.
Yeah, for some reason, while it was a good catch, Brown just completely left Sivir alone, and like the minute he left him alone, he wasn't blocking anything from Kaisa, and Kaisa actually did land his W, so he just immediately ulted over to the Sivir and just got his full combo off, and he ended up dying afterwards. And then they just ended up kind of pushing Amp back after that fight, and then they still were able to trade over a kill, so it wasn't entirely bad, but definitely almost a misplay, just almost letting go more than they should have, leaving Sivir alone there.
Yeah. And he did get a recurve bow, so it is going to be a Rage Blade for Kaisa next. That'll help him, again, just kind of get through him. Again, not having the true damage will kind of suck, but I still think Rage Blade is too valuable an item for Kaisa no matter what build you're going for. But this game is, despite being 1,500 gold down, still pretty close for TPR. I think they've got a pretty good comp to deal with this. I think it's going to come down a lot to what 15 can manage to do, because he keeps trying to get these like head-on flanks, and he's just going to get destroyed almost by the Syndra. The Fear Beyond Death will land. Gosh. It's going to pull him back in again. 15 going way too aggro inside of Vision. Not playing the Vision game at all. I mentioned it earlier, and it's just biting them in the ass.
To just the Syndra ult. That is insane.
Yeah, I mean, Syndra is on 2 items, has an 11-stack Medjais right now.
Yeah,
he's actually starting to have a really good game. Yep. They are on to this Baron. There is still a level lead for Prism if he's able to find his way in. Is he going to get in with the ult? He steals the Baron!
No. What?
And that is going to be a hell of a savior play right now from Prism with the level lead. He finds the Baron. Sonic on the bottom side going to get a tower as well.
How did he steal that? Did he steal it with ult?
He ulted in. I don't know if he even smited it. I don't know what happened. But he got the Baron. That's going to help save the game. It actually put them back into a gold lead.
That is insane.
And they're going to get the Infernal off of it, too. Spoder's trying to steal his way in, but they're going to get a nice knock-up. Abu's burning super low, the supercharge to get him out. He's going to be able to run away. They're going to sacrifice Samuel's life for this. And they're counting their stars right now, TPR.
What's the next dragon? Is it that? Okay.
It's gonna be Elder. It's gonna be the Elder.
It's double mountain versus double infernal. Which dragon is stronger?
Yeah. I would probably say the double infernal. Yeah, that was a pretty good steal. They still need to put up a hell of a, defense here. But they are in a good spot. I'm almost at the point where I want 15 to just camp up in a side lane and just force the enemy team to come to him and just try to 1v1 whoever comes, right? Because I feel like he can deal with Spoder. He can deal with the Carcion on his own. It's just when there's multiple people there that can get the crowd control onto him is when he starts struggling. And again, because they're not really playing the Vision game to its fullest potential, it's going to make it really hard for him to get anything done in his current playstyle.
Yeah. Because he could deal with pretty much everybody on the side of Amp. I think the only one that he really doesn't do much to is Bliss. Just him having that Spirit Visage now, and also going for the War Marks next. I think it's just too much HP for him to cut through.
Right.
But he should still be able to outduel Urgot regardless of what the build that is that he have. And as long as Carcion doesn't land the stun and he stops getting hit by these max range stuns, he should still be able to kill the Syndra.
Yep. He can definitely still manage that if he finds his way in. They're going to start pressuring up. They do have Baron on quite a few members. Nezumi trying to stop this whole push by himself, but 15 just gets caught out. Like, he does so well, but he just does not respect positioning at all. Sonic trying to find his way onto Nezumi, gonna get hit by the slow. Lots of damage from him. They start backing off, and it's just a repeated story of 15 never respecting people, and it's biting him in the butt 4 times this game. And if he doesn't cut it out soon, it's gonna do it again.
Yeah, I mean Renekton did get the locket out of Brahms, so that's kind of good, but
such a short cooldown in the long run.
Yeah.
Really means nothing for them unless they take a fight right this second, which I really doubt they will. There's still so much wave clear, even with the Baron minions. There's no way to really siege onto this Amp squad without getting an ace.
Yeah, pretty much at this point, I feel it's going to be whoever wins the next team fight probably ends up winning the game. We are coming across pretty much 3 items on everybody, and both AD carries and carries in general, as there's a pause here, and then immediately our ask. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, as we're getting to the 3 item point for pretty much everybody, I mean, both carries easily able to take down towers. Sivir very strong at taking down towers. Kaisa very strong at taking down towers. And even LeBlanc and Cinder do a fairly decent amount. I think whoever wins this next team play is pretty much just going to push down whatever lane they win it in, as long as there's a wave to do so. Next dragon is Elder for a Canadian champ. So it's double mountain versus the double infernal.
Yeah, and it's also a very important one for either team to take, because if you get it and the game stalls past that, it opens up the chance of a second Elder. You don't want the enemy team to get a second Elder ever, so I really expect both teams to put all their effort into trying to get that one. And it's going to be rough, because I think both these teams kind of have another item breakpoint that they want to hit before they start taking team fights, especially this Renekton. I'm still waiting to see that Sterix gauge from him. It's going to be such a big item for him in these fights, but hasn't come through yet. He's got the Jarm's Fist, presumably going to be building towards that now, but he's definitely going to want that before a fight over Elder.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
And they are going forward onto Abu. Lots of damage onto him. The concussive blows. Nazumi looking to just solo him out, but he still managed to run away. The killer instincts into the backside. I'm not sure why you did that. You're going to die. You were all by yourself, even with Samuel. And now Samuel forced to run away. But this gives so much power over to Amp. There's no objectives up for him, except maybe a mid lane. They do have to respect 2 split pushers, though. So they're going to start running down this lane.
Yeah, it was a good attempt, but he was just not low enough, and they were already planning to focus him down. So the minute he's transferred sides, they just all turned for him.
Yeah, and it looks like TPR just forfeiting this mid lane. They know they can't do anything, so they are going to have the little bonk up against the Urgot. They've got the Renekton pushing, and yeah, Amp are going to be able to get this mid lane, but Renekton is doing a lot of work down there.
Wait, they're not!
Now it comes down to how good can TPR stop these recalls from Amp. Renekton did just break through the tower, going to start onto the bottom lane. Inhib, now 15, not going to get hit by the Urgot ult, so he's trying to see how he can get out of here. Yeah, Sonic's still doing this as Prism has stopped all their backs. He's going to trade his life, but that is a bottom lane inhib. I'd say that trade is probably worth it right now for TPR, as he's still going to be pushing up. Finally leaving. They just need to hope that Prism comes up and they can still have pressure around this dragon area. I hope that Samuel and Abu move in there now for vision, because they definitely need to be able to control that objective.
Yeah, I guess Sonic not dying there definitely makes it worth it. Still, at least trading one inhib for one inhib. I'm actually really surprised that Amp did not keep pushing there. Because I feel like if they kept pushing, it would have forced their 2 solo lanes to back, because there was no way, especially after Scooter, I think he did end up killing the block there after he killed the block. Like, there was no way they were going to keep... Out. Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay. But even after, like, chunking her, like, there was no way that they were going to keep pushing.
Yeah, not a whole lot of vision control around the dragon, sadly, for TPR, which means Amp do have the pressure in mid lane. They're going to move towards it right now, and with no TP on Sonic...
TPR is not even in sight!
Yeah, they did not seem to respect this as a possibility. They're just going to give over this free Elder, which is going to be really rough for them. A little bit of a pause coming through.
Again, what is this? Like, they're not even saying, like, what's happening.
I don't know. Did it say who paused it?
This time 15 paused it. Last time Prism paused it. Now they're just saying R again. They're not saying why they're pausing.
Huh. That's bizarre.
Yeah, they just pause and then say R immediately after the pause. Well, both teams are R again, so hopefully the game gets going.
Hopefully, yeah. Don't know why they're pausing. It's a little bizarre. But they are getting back into it now. And again, just a free Elder. And with Baron coming up in 8 seconds, that basically gives Amp a free Baron as well. Because it's going to be hard to start fighting this. He does get hit by the Glacial Prison with this GA. Might be able to get out the Stair Gauge shield already gone. That's going to be a hell of a dead Crocodile. And again, Baron on deck, meaning Sonic doing a lot of damage to a Carcion. Doesn't find himself the kill, though. It's definitely a nice attempt. Maybe bringing her down low will help them fight over this Baron, because they cannot give over too much here. Prism looking for another steal, but he is a level down this time instead of being a level up.
Yeah, but I think him even being a level down, it still is going to come down to who can smite better.
Yeah.
Because smites generally are not that far apart, only being a level down.
Yeah, the timing of it is really all that matters. Looks like he wants to do it. His W is on. Is he able to get it? And he steals it again! He got it! Oh my god, gosh. Prism!
2 Baron steals. Wow.
That is unbelievable. 2 Baron steals in a row. This is not your Baron Amp. Why do you keep trying this? It's Prism on the end team. Of course he's going to get the smite. And that is just... If TPR wins this, I don't care what scoreline he has. 0-10. Prism is having a hell of a time trying to save this game for his team. They still need to just, you know, work it together. Because right now, it is not going in their favor. But Prism is trying so hard right now.
Yeah, and they're not even like after that. They're not even grouping with this elder, so it's like getting this elder like almost meant nothing for them now. They're not even trying to push an advantage with the double dragon elder that they have.
Yep. They've got that. It is a fairly short timer, which I assume is why they've only got about 30 seconds left on it. So they did need to deal with the bot lane, and mid lane was already pushing. I mean, there's not a whole lot they can force if TPR doesn't really step out too far. And not having the Baron means, again, there's no real play for them to make. So it's going to be a little bit rough. TPR going to try and get some more advantages with this Baron, see what all they can find. They've got Renekton in the side lane.
And we are getting to that point, too, where not only are teams hitting their power spikes, but we're at the point of no return where teams kind of can't really push in any spot because the lanes are so far up.
Yeah, and they're trying to force a fight. They did miss the Sejuani ult, and so much damage coming onto Awu as they finally get onto him. But a huge knockup from Samuel. That is massive. Gummy goes into his GA. He's already in the middle of reviving now. An exhaust onto Awu.
Alive.
He can't get a whole lot done, but there's the first kill onto the Warwick. He goes down, and they're trying to get through. His 15 Virgin finally finds his way in, but another 3-man knockup from the Alistar. Everybody is falling on the side of Amp. All that's left is the Syndra, and they're going to look bottom with this Baron and see if they can try and end the game.
They left Awu alone that entire fight, and then 15 came in from the side and got a 3-man distortion and bursted half of Amp and the people that were alive, and now they're just gonna run it down bottom. They actually can end.
Yeah, and Akarzion doing his best to try and clear out this wave before TPR shows up with the Baron. 30-second respawn timer is 15. He gets the kill onto Akarzion, and TPR off the back of 2 Baron steals are gonna go up 2-0 versus Amp right now.
That is insane. As Samuel finally DCs from the game. Holy cow.
I am almost at a loss for words about that game.
What is happening?
0-11-11 for Prism. Still arguably one of the most, if not the most valuable person in that game with the 2 Baron steals that stalled it out long enough. The second one gave them the Baron that let them end the game after that team fight. But even then, I'm very tempted to just give it to him for the 2 Baron steals, right? That scoreline is atrocious, but the Baron steal saved the game. But in that last fight, Samuel landed, I think it was a 4-man knockup, and then another 3-man knockup in it. Samuel played that Alistar to perfection that game, especially in the later half. So it's really between those two for me, but oh my god, that game.
And then after that knockup, 15 came in for the flank over the Wraith Pit with a double distortion on the 3 members that were stood still after the Alistar went in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Samuel makes a good point. In the, I believe it was the DOV TPR set, when Prism missed that smite on the Elder that lost them the game, Bliss posted a link to a smite helper in the Trash Talk channel. Apparently Prism went and labbed the hell out of that site because Bliss is looking like the one that needs help smiting right now, but oh my god, I still can't decide who needs MVP. It's between Prism and Samuel for me. Both of them played out of their mind in that game. Oh, man.
Honestly, I kind of want to just give it to Prism just for it to be the meme. 0-11 MVP, lol.
I think so. That's the thing, right? 0-11. No one would ever look at the scoreline and be like, this guy did really well. But he stole Baron twice. And the second one saved the game. They had Elder. They were about to get Baron. I mean, that was going to put the nail in the coffin.
Too.
Yeah, true. It did. But like the second one was like, that was the end, right? There was no light at the end of the tunnel, right? That LED light had died out years ago. And then what do you know? He flips the switch and suddenly TPR take the game.
That is insane.
Yeah, I think Samuel, in any other scenario, deserves MVP this game. But the 2 Baron steals from Prism were so fundamental for this win that I think Prism definitely gets it. Oh my god. This is crazy. All right, let's start inviting people.
This honestly can go either way now.
Yeah.
After that game.
Yeah, and it was such a interesting game because right, all eyes were on 15. Game one, hard carry. Game two, he was sitting in like 8-1, right? This is like okay, 15. This looks like he's pretty good right now, but just started kind of running it down for about half the game. Who choose? Right, so he was playing a little questionably, and in the end, he did do pretty good in the last fight with that distortion over the wall to just destroy everyone. But again, just all eyes in the end on Prism with those steals and Samuel with those knockups, and is so well done from TPR and being up 2-0 versus the best team in the league, or what was touted as, right? I mean, if they lose, then obviously they're not the best, but right, the number one seed coming into this, playoffs.
While they are the number one seed, though, like at the same time, like including myself, did really anybody have Amp going all the way?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I still expected Amp to take the tournament, honestly, barring that they didn't have subs, because sub Amp versus not sub Amp are two very different things. And I'll allow Gummy as possible starter because he has played quite a bit for them, and they do believe in his abilities quite a bit.
Yeah,
But
that's
game
what I was
one,
like, is
game
he
one
really?
was sub Amp. Game two, they did pretty decently, but yeah, I still.
Game two they did much better, but
Oh
it
yeah,
was still.
they should have won game two. They should not have lost that. I think their comp was better at the state of that game, and it just came down to a couple of smites. The first one, maybe understandable. Prism was up a level. Second one, Bliss had the level advantage, right? How do you miss that, right? How can that you've got so much going on for you there. And we are going to finally see Amp taking the red side instead, possibly recognizing the power of the counter pick and the two power picks that you get.
I don't think either of these people play Ari though, do they?
I wouldn't be surprised if a Carcion does, and I think 15 has a wide enough assassin pool that he could.
Yeah, I was just thinking with the priority picks that there are, I don't think we'll see an Ari, even if she is open.
Yeah.
Holy wow. This is, in fact, a BO5. We are currently in game 3.
Yep. It's 2-0 TPR right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 2-0 Amp. Lilac, stop trolling.
Yeah, and this is not the set that I was expecting to see today. Right, I was expecting maybe a 3-1 for Amp. TPR were telling me that they were feeling pretty confident coming in this week. I was like, I don't know what you guys are smoking, but Amp is really good. But maybe I'm the one that hit the reefer a few too many times, even though I've never hit the reefer. But maybe someone snuck it into my monster. I don't know, but. This is crazy. And I mean, I think at this point we have to start asking, like, is this going to be a 3-0 for TPR, or Amp going to be able to come back after that? Right? What's Amp's game plan now? What can they get
on
done?
top of that, I guess like this is like the story of the year. I mean, even in LCS, it's like the top teams are falling. Like, what is
the people you favor?
What is
never
happening?
Win. It's the same thing that happened last split too.
Yeah, but at least last split, the favors still at least came back. It's like now, they legitimately are falling and just like tanking and not doing anything.
Yeah, I'll have to see how this ends up. It's definitely still possible for Amp, but they've got to do a reverse sweep, take 3 games in a row, right?
Yeah, they can come back. It's just gonna be now it's a battle of mental. It'll be like who can last the 5 games longer. Because for anybody, like that's definitely like what it comes down to. Like BO3s are okay, but like if you think BO3s are okay and then you got a best of fives, like it does take its toll. It's a lot of games, especially like if you're playing 30, 40 minute games. Like that's a lot of playing time and then not that much rest in between. Like your mind just gets like burnt after a while if you're that kind of player of the constant high playing
Yep.
and then all the crazy stuff that could happen.
Yeah. Teams are finally in position. We might see them ready up, getting into this pick, man. I'm specifically excited because I think we're gonna see a little bit of stuff change. I have to imagine. I can't imagine